All right, so we're back for one lesson, back on page 14. This might seem out of the norm because we've been working on through pages 38 and 39, 40, 41, etc. And then all of a sudden we go to page 14. You know, what is this? So we need to understand one little thing about the piano keyboard, just for this upcoming lesson. So we're going to do one page here on half steps. Now, if you need a refresher, you can zip back a couple pages to page 11, where we introduce the piano keyboard. So if you need to take the time, pause the video now, review that page, and come on back. Okay, so half steps. Now that you know your way around a piano keyboard, it's important to know how to navigate across the keyboard. Okay, so on a piano keyboard, a half step is the smallest distance available. The smallest distance possible between two neighboring notes. So, for example, you know how to label the piano keyboard, so you know that here's the note C, D, E, etc. There's a B, there's an A. We'll just use those few notes for now. So between C and C sharp, that would be considered a half step. Between C sharp and D, or D flat and D, that distance would be a half step. Any white key to an adjoining black key would be a half step. Let me just mark a few more here. They marked this one here from C to C sharp. Okay, but from C sharp to D, from D to D sharp, from D sharp to E, okay, and then also from E to F would be a half step. The reason E to F is a half step and not D to E is because between E and F, there is no black key. So the half step immediately above E is the next white key, F. Right? After F, you'd go up to F sharp, etc., and carry on. All right. Now, E to F, this is as I just explained. E to F is a half step because there's no black note in between. The same thing goes for B and C. Between notes B and C, there is no black key. Okay, and so B and C are a half step apart. E and F are a half step apart. All other letter pairings are a whole step because there's a black key between all of them. Between F and G, there's a black key. G to A, black key. A to B, black key. Okay, only B and C, E and F are the two spots that are where you don't have black keys. Okay. The other term for half steps are semitones. That's more the European term. But if you hear the term semitones, that's exactly the same thing as a half step. I will often use the word half step. Sometimes I'll say semitone, whatever comes out at the moment. Okay, they really do mean the same thing. So from there on, finish the worksheet at the bottom here. What note is a half step higher than G? What's a half step lower than E? Use the keyboards above and write down your answer, okay? If your answer is a black key, you can call it by its sharp name or by its flat name. Both are 100% correct, all right? Now, moving down to the next section, you're going to identify half steps on the staff. Here's where you have to really be able to connect what you see on the staff to what you see on the piano keyboard. And the reason is this. On a staff, you can't see where the half steps are. From a line to a space or a space to a line, you're always moving to the next note on the staff. But the staff doesn't tell you where the black keys are. Okay, so you have to look at these notes. I'll do the first one with you, for example. Look at these two notes and say, here's a C, here's a D. Is C to D a whole step? Well, on the staff itself, it doesn't show, there's no clue here to show you. But translate these two notes up onto the keyboard, and you'll see that C is here, D is there. There's a black key in between. Okay, so do I need to circle this as a half step? No, this is not a half step. Okay, and the keyboard tells me so. All right, it's not the staff that tells you, it's the keyboard. All right, so we carry on with that worksheet. Okay, at the bottom it says circle the higher note in each of these examples. So you have two notes, which one's higher? All right, know your accidentals, know what a sharp sign and a flat sign and a natural sign does. And then at the very, very bottom, circle the half steps in this melody. Okay, for example, the one that's written here, okay, this thing is this distance is a half step because these are the notes E and F. E and F, as you know, are right beside each other on the staff. Okay, so look at each pairing. F to G, is that a half step? G to A, is it a half step? A to G, is it a half step? G to F sharp, etc., 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 all the way through. So circle all those half steps that you can find in that melody. That's the worksheet for today, and we'll see you in the next lesson. Take care.